How's it going, everybody? This is Cameron White with White Light Astrology. Not giving you guys your weekly horoscope forecast, whatever I want to call it this week. We're actually going to be talking about Jupiter in Scorpio. I've been really excited about this, since I kind of was like, oh shit, Jupiter's about to move into Scorpio. There's a lot going on with this. This is it's not going to be like how we had Jupiter in Libra. Jupiter in Libra was kind of like, oh, okay, let's look at things a little bit different. With Jupiter and Scorpio, we're doing some pretty hardcore work. Jupiter's transit lasts for about a year. It goes into Sagittarius December of 2018. However, Jupiter enters Scorpio at 6:21 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Tuesday, October 10th, 2017. So I don't know what time it's going to be moving into Scorpio around the world, but Pacific Standard Time here on the West Coast, it's going to be 6:21 a.m. It will be trining Moon in Gemini, and it will still be in opposition with Uranus in Aries. Now, at 6:21 a.m., Jupiter is going to be in the first house, so when we're looking at how Jupiter is going to be playing out, we're looking at the second Jupiter moves in, it's going to be in the first house, and the only two big transits, aspects it's really making is it's trine with the Moon in Gemini in the 8th house. With Jupiter trining the Moon, this is definitely having us look at our emotional selves and what we want to understand. With the Moon in Gemini in the 8th house, where Scorpio rules, where Jupiter is going to be going, Jupiter wants us to emotionally expand, and with the Moon in Gemini, we're going to be looking at things differently. We're going to be taking in a whole lot more information. Things are going to be said. Things are going to look a little bit different, and it's all there for the transformational process. With the Moon in Gemini, this next year, with this Moon in Gemini aspect to it, this next year can be kind of a little bit anxiety-ridden, because it could feel like, there's so many ways to go about things. There's so many ways to believe things. There's so many ways to feel things. Which one is going to be the best one? You could feel a little bit confused, a little bit distracted. You don't know where to exactly place your energy. As well as the Jupiter is going to be opposing Uranus after its main opposition. It'll be 4 degrees off. However, this is going to be in the 7th house, and we're going to see a lot more of the Jupiter and Uranus opposition later on, when Uranus goes into Taurus and during May and all that kind of stuff. Or actually, that's actually not even happening. This is the last time Jupiter is going to be opposing Uranus. However, with Jupiter opposing Uranus, Uranus is going to be in the 7th house when this happens. Jupiter just left Libra, and Libra rules the 7th house. So again, we're looking at the relationship with ourselves. If Uranus in Aries, this is about liberating ourselves from whatever restrictions that we have. This is about the wild card being, fuck you, I want to do me. This is all about putting yourself first, putting your self-empowerment, your full essence and your energy into it. And as Jupiter opposes it, it's going to be pretty badass. It's as long as you are willing to do the Jupiter and Scorpio work, which I'm about to get into, you'll see a lot more self-liberation. You'll see the electricity inside you run up, and you'll start to see it manifest in a lot of different ways, not only with your own relationship with yourself, but the relationship with other people. You'll start to feel more empowered. You'll start to feel, when people say even though I'm alone, I'm not lonely, it's going to be kind of not necessarily the opposite, but you're going to feel more yourself, more empowered with people. You're going to be able to have that equal amount of independence, really. And that's what this is going to be really looking like for the next year. Jupiter is going to be retrograding at 23 degrees Scorpio on March 8th, 2018. Sun will be in Pisces. So again, we're going to be doing before I get into the retrogrades and the bigger aspects that we got going on, I really want to talk about what Jupiter and Scorpio is all about. Jupiter in Scorpio. So we've been through a lot of shit with Scorpio. We had Saturn go through Scorpio from 2013 to 2015, basically. And then we had Mars retrograde in Scorpio last year in April of 2016. Now, with all the Saturn work, it was like, man, we had to face our fears. We had to actually look down to the deepest part of ourselves and question everything. We had to figure out what emotions were holding us back. What were we not letting go of? What were we holding on to? And Saturn in Scorpio is just so hardcore. It's all your bullshit. It's just all in your face, and it's so overwhelming, and you could think it's so bad and just dive straight down into the gutters just to basically fuck it all up. Like, Saturn in Scorpio was a really rough transit. However, during that transit, we had to learn how to expose ourselves, how to purge ourselves, how to rise from the bottom, rise from the ashes. And even though we went through all this shit, challenging our beliefs, having to go through peak, deeply felt emotions, as Mars went through Scorpio and retrograded, this is all about changing our actions. It's like, okay, based on the emotions that we went through, we really got to find an effective way to control our actions and to control our energy, because with the Mars and Scorpio, it's so powerful there. It's so ready to just take on everything and just ready to fuck it all up, basically. And I don't mean fuck it all up in a bad sense, even though that does hold some truth to it. However, just go at it in an extreme way and be, you know, hands deep, knuckles deep in whatever it is that you're getting yourself into. However, when Mars retrograded, it was about, is that effective? Is this what we really want? This is bringing up a lot of pain. We have to really change our actions in order to see different results. And that's what Mars and Scorpio retrograde was all about. And it could have been really, really hard and frustrating, because you thought, you know, I know exactly what I want, I know exactly what I'm feeling, I need to go for it this way and this way and this way. Sometimes you have to completely alter the way that you do things in your life in order to see the results that you're doing. Doing the same thing over and over again and not producing the same result, and producing the same results, how you go crazy thinking that you're going to get something different. Anyway, as Jupiter goes through here, this is where we get the ultimate challenge of, do we really believe it? Jupiter is all about your beliefs. If we go from this, like, the sun is your beingness. Okay, you're alive. Who are you? You know, let's get that clear. Mercury is, okay, how do you think? Venus is, how do you love? Mars is, what are you doing? And then Jupiter's, well, what do you believe? What do you believe after all of that? It's like the state of human consciousness. And with Jupiter in Scorpio, this is going down to this big dynamic between light and dark, between death and life, and all of that kind of intense, not necessarily dualistic, but dark and light. And when we have Jupiter right here, I mean, in 1993 and 2005, there's a lot of action going on, especially with politics. And I know Jupiter more, not Jupiter, but Scorpio rules like that crude oil and the industry and stuff like that. So it's going to be really hardcore. With Jupiter going through Scorpio, we're going to challenge ourselves to really see if we truly believe what we think we believe. And what I mean that, what I say when I mean that is Jupiter and Scorpio is going to go, okay, if you really believe this about yourself, whether it's something negative or it's something positive, it will manifest. It will manifest just so immediately into your life. And if you have an underlying belief of yourself, you know, I'm not capable, I'm not worthy, you're going to start diving deep, deep, deep down into that thought. And that's where that belief is going to lie, until you get down to the point where you don't want that anymore. And you're so willing for something better. You're so in, you have Scorpio is all about desire. And it's all about what you really want at the end of the day. Scorpio is the best thing for manifestation, in my opinion. Because Scorpio has this desire, it has this passion, and it will do whatever it takes to get it. And as Jupiter goes through here, you have to really believe that. You got to really, really be invested in your beliefs. And if you want something more for yourself, if you want something more for your life, whether it's your relationships, your career, your personality, your community, whatever the fuck it is, you got to really believe it. And the Jupiter and Scorpio is going to test us. It's going to show us, okay, it's going to manifest everything that's going on, all the negative beliefs about us or about what we project out into the world, and it's going to show up right into our faces. And we get to have that choice, that opportunity to go, is this what I really want? Is this what I'm really manifesting? Is this what I really desire? And you have to keep trusting, believing, having that faith. Because when Jupiter goes into Sagittarius, December of 2018, that's when it's all going to happen. That's when it's going to be like, wow, this shit really paid off. Jupiter in Sagittarius is going to be like, wow, all this work that I did this last year and what my beliefs were, and having the desire, being very grounded in my want and my need and my desire for whatever it is that you want. Please do it in a healthy and a positive way, whatever is going to impact you and others in the most positive, giving way possible. Because with Jupiter and Scorpio, you can see it's kind of like you can touch, you want to touch the oven, you want to touch the fire, and you can get burned. With Jupiter and Scorpio, this is about going through all of the negative emotions, feeling it all, embracing it all, and choosing the light. Scorpio is the Phoenix rising. It's all about how, I mean, you've seen in my videos, it's all about how deep down, how low can you get in order for you to bounce back even higher. And for the next year, we're going to be really testing ourselves, testing our beliefs. And if you have a desire, if you have a radical change you want to do in your life, this is the time to get that mindset invested into it. Jupiter and Mercury are basically kind of like one and the same. They're basically best friends. So they both work with that communication, with intellect, with thinking. And Jupiter rules philosophy, spirituality. It's all about Mercury's more about what you're thinking every single day to create the belief, but Jupiter is about what the underlying belief really is, what you really think about yourself, and what you really think about how the world works, or how you think about everything realistically. And as it goes through Scorpio, this is the time to get invested. Take a look at what the fuck what's actually running your brain, what's actually running your mind day in and day out. Take a look at it. See the prices that you pay and the rewards that you reap from it, and make a decision whether or not you want something better or something more or something worse or the same, or if you don't even want to change. But Jupiter in Scorpio, you're going to change. You're going to be anytime anything's in Scorpio, it's just it's unignorable. It's unignorable, especially because a lot of you guys will have Jupiter going through Pluto. Jupiter conjuncting your natal Pluto. And as Jupiter conjuncts your natal Pluto, this is that, like, that's liberating. That is complete transformation of your whole beliefs, your lifestyle, all that kind of stuff. And especially if you were born in like the 93 area and you have your Jupiter return as well as Jupiter conjuncting your Pluto as well, this is a really big time to get reinvested in your belief system and get back to the desire. What do you want? What can you not like, what do you want to accomplish before you die? What do you want to feel? What do you want to embrace more than anything in this world? That's the belief system that you want to put in place. And as Jupiter goes retrograde in Pisces season on March 8th, this is going to be a look at, again, what we had with this Pisces full moon. Trusting the universe, trusting your intuition, getting more in alignment with yourself. It is going to be a little bit hard. However, really having that faith and that desire is really going to be awesome. It's all about tapping into your higher self to get clear with what you do want. And it's going to be challenging because now with Jupiter going into Scorpio, we're going to be looking at, okay, what are our beliefs? Let's look at everything. Things are going to be changing. And as Jupiter starts trining the sun in Pisces, you're going to start to see how you can start tapping into your higher self, into your intuition, into your God self, and figure out what your heart's desire really is, what your vision is, what your ultimate outcome is, what your ultimate outcome wants to, like, what you want your ultimate outcome to look like. Then Jupiter goes direct in Cancer season. When we go through Cancer season on July 10th as it goes direct, this is going to be the time to trust it, to feel it, to not question and worry, but give, like, mother yourself, nurture yourself. After all the stuff that we're going to be going through with diving into our belief systems and really looking at the bullshit that you got underneath there and then rising up from it. This is when we'll be rising up from it after Jupiter goes direct in Cancer. As long as you're willing to really trust yourself, trust other people, not be afraid to have support, not be afraid to love, because Scorpio and Cancer could be very, very afraid to love because they have so much to give. Like, that's why I think Scorpios have such a weird rep, is because they have nothing but love to give. Scorpios are like the nicest fucking people in the world, but it's so intense that sometimes they don't trust themselves or who they want to give their love into because they have so much to give. And that's why they're fucking hardcore. They're super serious. They're like if you're, playing blackjack at the casino and you put, half of your stuff in, Scorpio will go all in. Scorpio will match you and raise you. And then, so Jupiter will also sextile Pluto at 21 degrees on April 14th. That's when we're really going to start looking at the power of self-transformation, and as far as getting our shit together, that's going to be really intense. May 25th, Jupiter trines Neptune again, with all the stuff about Neptune and Pisces. Now this is going to be coming more and more to fruition. Now we're going to start focusing more and more on our Neptune and Pisces stuff going on, which is the illusion of reality right now, why everything's so black and white, why everything's so back and forth, and it's going to go back down to the main root of what it is that you truly desire, rather than having all this confusion about, what your vision is or what life is even about. Because Neptune and Pisces is just like, Neptune and Pisces is kind of like, imagine the universe as a big party. Neptune and Pisces is like, hey, let's go to the air conditioner and put like laughing gas in the air. And so everyone's kind of like, I'm feeling a little funny. There's like this weird aspect going on. I'm still in the party, but it's ever so subtle that I'm like kind of tripping out a little bit. That's like the Neptune and Pisces kind of thing. So when Jupiter goes into Scorpio and we start trining all of that, and it starts trining Neptune at 16 degrees, that's when someone at the party is going to go, what the fuck? Like, okay, who put fucking gas in here? We got to clear this out. We have to go back to remaining fun. We got to go back to being more clear, being more conscious. And you're going to feel that intuition aspect, that whole you are the universe, the whole you are God. Like, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? How do you want to be? You're going to feel that again and be a lot more clear. Then Jupiter will trine Chiron later on next November on the 1st, and then it will quincunx Uranus exactly at 29 degrees Scorpio. November 8th, 2018, big fucking day. I can't even imagine. Uranus at 29 degrees, Jupiter quincunxing it exactly at 29 degrees. 29 degrees Scorpio is that Phoenix rising, the rubber band breaking in order for you to ascend, in order for you to go into the Sagittarius realms of experiencing thought and questioning everything and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be really intense. So again, the last thing I really want to hit on with this Jupiter and Scorpio is, God, just take a look at everything. Don't avoid anything. It's going to make you look at stuff, and the more and more you avoid, the more and more you're going to internalize all your emotion and process things, and then fuck up your belief system that you've been working so hard to, change, that you've been wanting to feel better about. And as Jupiter goes through Scorpio, this is the time to get clear, get real, get very, very serious about what you're believing, about what is really going on. And if you do the work, when I say the work, I mean feel it, get deep down, get back down to what your desire is, what you want, how worthy you really are. Again, this is the Phoenix rising. The Phoenix rises from the ash, from literally nothing, literally just destruction. We have a beautiful bird, a fiery bird rise from it, and basically do whatever it wants. That's Scorpio. And you can get there. You can ascend to these higher realms. You can manifest all that you desire, especially through Jupiter and Scorpio. That's a big manifesting year. Biggest thing is get clear, get real, get serious, get down with what your beliefs are, and change them if they need to be changed. If not, if you are focused, if you have been doing the work, especially with Saturn in Scorpio and Mars in retrograde in Scorpio, if you've been doing the work, it's going to test you. And if you keep trusting, if you keep focusing and have that clear intention that you will get what you want, you will have what you want, you will see it come to fruition in a really, really big, life-changing way. And I don't mean life-changing as in, well, I mean, your whole life could change. I mean, that could happen any day, really. However, in the sense of when you look back 2 years from now, you're going to see how much had really changed underneath you, how much has really changed inside of you, and how that's manifested into your world. When we go into 2 years, when Jupiter enters Sagittarius and you look back, everything's going to be different. So the biggest thing, again, guys, at 6:21 a.m. when it enters, it'll be in the first house. This is all about focusing on ourselves, what we really want, how we really feel, what is it about us that we want to express, what is it about us that we really believe. It is going to be trining the moon in Gemini as it enters Scorpio, and this is going to be in the 8th house. This is all about taking in that new information and using it for self-transformation, using whatever it is that you can, your resources, your people around you, whatever new information that you have. Don't get anxiety, don't overthink it, don't get distracted, get focused, get serious, because you can handle it. And once you are able to handle it in a more effective way, and once you find what that way is, you'll see how things really turn out for you in a positive way. And as Jupiter opposes Uranus out here too in the relationship sector, this is about, again, going back to the relationship with yourself. And if you're really wanting to have that freedom and have that liberation, if you really want to cut the cords of whatever negative existence that you create for yourself, this is the time to do it, this whole next year. So I'll be talking about it, of course, for the next year in all my videos. However, I really just wanted to get this out because today the moon is in Scorpio. This is the last time the moon will be in Scorpio until Jupiter enters Scorpio. And then, of course, I mean, it goes through once a month. However, now that the moon in Scorpio is here, it's time to set these intentions, because the next thing to go into Scorpio is Jupiter. So set these intentions, get your emotions right, get in alignment with that, and feel it, want it, desire it, purge it, man. Like, let it all out. It's kind of like, if you're really upset, you just got into if you're really upset, you just got into a fight, something just happened, sometimes you just gotta like cry it out or beat a pillow, or like, I thought it was really funny. When I got into my car accident, I was sitting there freaking out, I'm having like an anxiety attack. I'm smoking a cigarette and I'm on the phone with everybody, and I have this homeless guy walk up to me and ask me for a cigarette, and I just freaked out on him. I mean, I kind of felt bad afterwards, but at the same time I didn't, and it just felt good to let it out. This is the time to let it all out. Like, get your anger out, expose all of it, because once you expose all of it and you bring light to all this stuff, you'll really be able to release it, let go of it. The big MO for Scorpio is let it go. And that's what this whole year is going to be about. Letting go of these negative beliefs, letting go of the negative anything, and starting to hold on to, and I should say hold on to, really starting to put that faith, that trust, and the action towards what you really desire. Because Scorpio is the type of person, if they want it, they'll go get it. Really, if you know a Scorpio, you know what the fuck I mean. But that's what I got for you guys. I'm so fucking excited for all of you. We're all going to go through so much. The whole world, the whole earth, the whole collective consciousness, everything is going to go through so much next year. It goes through everything all the time because astrology is kick fucking ass. However, this is going to be really intense. This is going to be fun. It's going to be really interesting. So I'm excited for it. I'm super glad I got to give this to you guys. By the way, I forgot to mention this in the beginning. I have a class at Enchanted Forest Reiki Center off 2280 South Jones Boulevard here in Las Vegas on October 10th, the day Jupiter goes into Scorpio. The class will be at 7 p.m. Tickets are going to be on the Enchanted Forest website and at their Facebook. However, tickets will be available at the door, and all this is going to be is about how we can actually manifest what we want, how we can actually put this belief system in place and start looking at, you know, bigger dates of when Jupiter transited through Scorpio, what was going on through there, and then also start working on what the beliefs that you have to have and that where you got to put yourself in your beingness in order to manifest all that kind of stuff. So if you're in Vegas, or if not, I'd love to see you anyway. That would be super awesome. But